In this video, I'm going to show you 6 ways to get your peppers to grow and ripen faster. We're getting very close to the end of pepper season in some climates. Maybe you have some peppers on your plant that you want to size up and ripen before your first frost comes, or maybe you haven't gotten any peppers yet and you're anxious. Let me know in the comments why you want your peppers to ripen faster. Now next year, you won't have to worry about this if you stick around to the end of the video, because I'm going to reveal a way to keep the plants you're growing now for next year, and you'll have a longer season because you'll be starting out with mature plants. And this trick is not just for warm winter gardeners. But first, what are some ways to get your peppers to grow and ripen faster? First of all, if your plant has a mixture of ripe peppers and unripe peppers, pick the peppers that are already ripe and keep doing this. This is going to help the plant get rid of excess work so it can focus its energy on ripening the unripe fruit still on there. If you're running out of time before your first frost and need to get these peppers ripened quickly, pick off the largest peppers that have about 50% of their color. That way you still get that ripened on the plant flavor, but you're freeing up energy for the rest of the peppers to ripen. You can put those picked peppers together in a paper bag to get them to ripen all the way. This is due to the fact that peppers release ethylene gas. This gas triggers the ripening process. It's common advice to put a tomato in the bag with the peppers to get the peppers to ripen faster, but peppers produce their own ethylene, so the tomato isn't necessary. You can also take advantage of this ethylene gas out in the garden to get the peppers that are still on the plant to ripen faster. Unfortunately, simple breezes will blow away the ethylene gas and not have it concentrated enough to be effective as a ripening agent. If your peppers are in pots or grow bags, you can simply take that pot or grow bag and move it to a sheltered location. If your plants are in the ground or in a raised bed, just set up a windscreen around your plant. But you want to do something that allows the sunlight to still get in, because that is a part of giving the plant energy for ripening. You can use a cardboard box with the ends cut out or folded in. You can use fabric and some stakes to build a roofless tent around the plants. Any way that lets the light in but shelters the plant from breezes or wind will allow the ethylene gas to hang around and help speed up the ripening process. In the same vein as removing the ripened fruit or the almost ripened fruit, take off any flowers or tiny fruit that you know will never have time to mature before frost. I know it's hard to do, but these are taking energy from the plant that it can use to grow and ripen the fruit that do have a chance of making it to your harvest basket before cold weather. You can also give your peppers a shot of potassium and phosphorus in liquid form. I'm using Neptune's Harvest Rose and Flowering formula. Its middle number and last number, which is the phosphorus, and the potassium, are high in relation to the first number, which is nitrogen. These two nutrients are responsible for flowering and fruiting, so at this time of year, that's the focus. You want to use a liquid over a solid because at this time of year especially, you really want good, fast absorption, and liquid's going to give you that. Also, watering the leaves in addition to the soil will give it a good foliar feed, which just increases the absorption that it has. You can't do that with a granular. Pepper fruit is 95% water, so even though peppers like warm, arid climates, they also need regular watering to produce well. Use the finger test to make sure the soil never dries out at this time of year. Stick your finger in the soil an inch or two, and if you don't feel moisture, you need to water. Most of the problems and anxieties at this time of year with getting peppers to produce enough before the frost is that peppers need a long growing season to produce lots of fruit. A lot of that time is taken up starting from seed or small transplant and waiting for them to reach fruiting size. But what if there was a way to cut out all that waiting? Well, you could buy already grown large plants in pots from the garden center, but financially that doesn't make a lot of sense. What if I told you you could keep the plants you already grew this year to grow again next year? But wait, you say, I live in a zone where we get freezing temperatures in the wintertime. That doesn't matter. Peppers are perennial. Now, it may be easier to keep them over in zones 9 to 11 where you can just keep them outside and they'll make it through the winter and start to grow again in the spring. But if you're in zones 3 through 8, you can do it too. Click this video for a step-by-step tutorial on how to put your peppers to sleep for the winter and wake them up again in spring so that next year, in the spring, you're already starting with mature plants. You're going to get fruit much faster. See you guys next time.